Hello everyone, welcome back to Angela's Craft Room. I have just finished completing a few thank you cards and I have done them in the new in colours. So I've got one to go and I thought I'd do the tutorial for you just to show you this quick and easy thank you card. Now I'll just go through the colours with you. These are the new, I'll just zoom out a little bit. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So the first one is Sweet Sugar Plum, and then I've actually used 3 stamp sets. The main one I've used is Timeless Textures. Then I've used this image here in the Best Birds, and my thank you greeting comes from the One Big Meaning. And I've just used this thank you one here. Okay, so the first one there is Sweet Sugar Plum, and then I've also followed through the card, which we'll do in the tutorial, so it's matching, and there's plenty of room there for people to write in their little message. Okay, so that's the Sweet Sugar Plum. Then we've got Flirty Flamingo. Then Dapper Denim. And Emerald Envy. So I'm really loving these new in colours. So next one, the last one, sorry, that we're going to do is Peekaboo Peach. Okay, so we'll start with that. So to start with, you need your base card, obviously. So you need that to be 11.5 inches long by 4 1/8 wide, and then we're scoring that at 5 6/8, sorry. So the base is 11.5 inches long by 4 1/8 in width, and then we're scoring it at 5 6/8, and that gives you your base card. Then we will need 3 lots of Whisper White, because we're going to do the inside as well. Now we need 2 layers at 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and we need 2 of those, one for the front and one for inside. And then we need another layer for the front, which will be 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So that's 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. A bit of a tongue twister there. So to start with, we'll do the inside first. So I'll just grab that piece of cardstock. Now I'll just show you which stamp we're going to be using. This one here to start with. Then we're going to be using this one, and we're going to be using the little dots at the top there. So first off, we're going to start doing the edging with this one. So we're using Smoky Slate along with the Peekaboo Peach. So I've got my stamp already on the block. Now there's going to be a fair bit of stamping off. I'm not going to be stamping in full strength, so it's my grid paper is going to be looking quite messy. So we're just stamping up, and I've just had to re-ink it after doing 4 of them. So we're just going to stamp off, and this is going to be our edge. This is going to go on the inside, when I was making this, I'm actually made them for a class, and I thought they'd be a good tutorial to share with you all. So, you know, there's 5 in colours, and that's just a nice group, like 5 thank you cards to give to some to have on hand. And I'm hoping to make a matching tote bag as well, that I will come back at a later stage and show you that tutorial as well. So it's just like until you're happy with it, and shouldn't be fiddling too much with it because this is the inside. Okay, so that's there. Then we're going to get this swirly pattern, and remember this is inside and we are stamping off, and I'm just going to put one there, one each corner. You should have seen my grid paper after doing 4 cards. That. One there. So that's like that. Now we're going to just going to clean it, my stamp with my stamp in the stamping scrub. And now we're moving on to the Peekaboo Peach. And we're going to, the colours are quite strong, so you know, you might like the full strength of the colour, but I just feel that it's a bit strong, the colour. So that's literally the inside done. So we're just going to grab some snail. Pop that inside the card, just eyeballing it up. I always put the top down first, just when I feel that I'm happy. So that's the inside. I think it gives quite an effective look too, with the timeless textures. So that's your inside. So now we still have 2 pieces left. We want to use the smaller piece to do the front of the card. So we're just going to grab this long one again, and just like before, we're going to go around and do our border. It's a very quick card to do as well, and I think it's really good when you do a set of them and put them in a little tote bag. I forgot to stamp off that one too. So because this is the front, I'm just going to add a bit more colour, a bit more depth in my colour. it's really only, you know, till you're happy with it. Just do a little bit more at the top. And the smoky slate, I've tried other colours and I just wasn't happy with the colour. So smoky slate seems to be that perfect colour to go with the in colours for this particular card anyway. So I've done that. Now I'm going to grab my swirly one. Just give it a good clean, because I've done so many colours on this. Just stamp a few because I just feel there's a bit of colour there not coming off. Okay, so we're going to start with our swirly one, and I'm still, even though it's the front, I'm still stamping off, and I'll do the four corners first. Oh, I forgot to stamp that one off. It's okay. The person you give it to aren't going to know. So just want one more there, and then just on this side. And that gives you that effect. Now I just want to clean that off, and we're going to go into our Peekaboo Peach. Now it is a very strong colour if you do full strength, so I definitely do not want to do full strength. So ink it up, stamp off, and it's just where you want to put it really. And then I just like to have one at the side. Like that. So that's our front so far, and I just think it gives that good texture effect. Now we're just going to get our little dotted ones, and we're going to still be using the Peekaboo Peach. And this is just random. I'm still stamping off. And this will just fill up a few spots, because down the bottom of your card isn't going to have as much filled in as the top, because your sentiment's going to go at the top. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's clean that one off. Now, what I did with the others was, with the layering, new layering circles that came out on the 1st of June 2016, they have so many options. So I've cut a scallop piece, and then this is a 2-inch circle punch that goes on the top like that. But what I'm going to do is, from the Best Birds, as I said, I'm going to use this one here, which I've used on all the others. So I'll just grab that out. Pop that onto there. Now I'm going to ink that up in the Peekaboo Peach, but I'm still going to stamp it off. And it just gives a little bit of texture. Don't want to go too heavy. Don't want to go too heavy on it because, there we go. I don't want to go too heavy on it because we want to now put from the One Big Meaning, we're going to use this stamp here, and we're going to stamp that in black, basic black. So we're just going to pop that on there. Just grab our basic black. Just ink that up so it's got a good coverage. Then we're just going to line that up on our circle. So this stamp fits perfectly on the 2-inch circle punch, and that's come out lovely. Okay, so we can get rid of our basic black. I'll just close up those ink pads, because otherwise I'm going to get even more ink on me. Now I'm just going to use some dimensionals on the back of that. Up to you how many you put on there, but I normally put 4 or 5. Tip on peeling that off. If you just push that in the center, it does lift it off a lot easier. If you just give it a bit of a push with your nail in the center. Then we're just going to get that nice scalloped circle that we've punched out from the layering circle set, and just line that up. Press that down. Now I'm just going to turn my grid paper over. Look at that, it's even come through the other side. And then what we're going to do is get our snail and just apply some to the back of that scallop circle. And whichever way you want it, I don't know which way I want it. I don't think it really matters. No, I do like that. Yeah. So I'm just lining that up with my grid paper, and I'm going to try and put it in about the same spot as all the others. And once it goes down, you can't pick it up. So just like that. So it's coming together nicely. Then we're going to get a piece of Peekaboo Peach matching ribbon. So it's a, if I can pronounce it right, it's a ruched ribbon, R-U-C-H-E-D, and it comes in all the in colours. So then all I do is put a bit of sticky on there. Now I'm not sticking anything underneath there, I'm just pulling it across. See where that, because I want to try and get it as straight as I can. And then I'll just put a bit of you'll see why I don't stick anything under there in a minute. So that's looking pretty good. So I'll just cut that little piece off. I'll have to use that for something. So we've got that so far. Then I've got another piece of the Peekaboo Peach ribbon, and all I do is slide it under there and I just tie a knot. I just tie one more, and I really just let it fall where it wants to. I don't get too panicky that it, but because you've done that, you can actually slide it to the side if you wanted to, but I've done all mine in the center at this time, so I'll just do it like that. Then I'm just going to snip that little bit off. I can always snip a bit off once I've got it onto my card. Quite happy with how that one's turning out. Now we're going to adhere this piece to the bigger piece of Whisper White. I always like to get a bit over the ribbon too, so that it's going to stick for me. So I hope you'll give this a try and just try using the new in colours, because when you do a set of cards like this, it's really nice to have a set of colours all the same, and then they can be used all year round. You never know when you want a thank you card. You can say thank you for so many things, and people do love to receive a handmade card, and I am really loving this Timeless Textures ribbon. And then we're going to adhere that to the front of our card. So we'll bring that back in, line it up to our grid line. You can buy this grid paper by the pad from Stampin' Up. It is really well worth it. And now see, I'm not exactly where I want to be. Ooh, it'll be all right. So about there. There we go. And then we have the finished card in Peekaboo Peach going through to the centre. So I really hope you'll give these a try. And once again, I'll just go through the stamp sets that I have used. So remember, we did use the Best Birds. We used this one as a background stamp. Then we use the One Big Meaning. I use this so much, and this time we used the thank you card, the thank you sentiment there. and that does stamp perfectly on a 2-inch circle punch out. And the main stamp set that we used was Timeless Textures, and we used this one, and the little dots. Okay, so, and just recapping the other colours, we've just done the Peekaboo Peach, and there is the Dapper Denim. So I'll put them down as I'm telling you. Then we did the Emerald Envy, and then we did the Flirty Flamingo, and we did the Sweet Sugar Plum, which is my favourite. So I hope you'll try and have a go at doing this thank you card, and even do the set, because they really do tie in together. And I'd just like to thank you for spending part of your day with me today in this tutorial, and I really look forward to you joining me next time. Thank you.